give a big welcome to LaFawn Davis.
Hey, FutureWorks. Hey, FutureWorks. There you go. AI. The algorithm, machine learning, large language models, there's a lot of momentum and added focus on these systems. This can all feel a little overwhelming. Even this picture alone looks like the movie Inception, doesn't it? AI is permeating our society. It's in our phones, it's in our cars, it's everywhere. So let's explore the topic of AI and bias, because this technology is everywhere. The algorithm can determine whether you qualify for a loan, how you're treated by the criminal justice system, or whether or not you score a job interview. But we need to start asking, are AI tools biased? Let's test it out. We asked an AI generative tool to create a collection of photos of professionals, and this is what it produced. Obviously, these images alone are a little bit void of diversity, so let's try this again. How about fast food workers? Here are our results. According to Bloomberg, AI generates images of people with darker skin tones 70% of the time for the keyword fast food worker, even though 70% of fast food workers in the US are white. Third time's the charm, right? Let's generate a collage of doctors. Let these images sink in a little bit. Women make up 39% of doctors, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So why is that not reflected here? So, are AI tools biased? You can answer. All right, there you go. I think it is a resounding yes, and that bias has real-world consequences. Take, for example, this recent story of a multinational e-commerce company. A few years ago, their hiring algorithm learned to penalize resumes that included the word women's and downgraded those that earned degrees from historically women's colleges. Why? Because their machine learning models were trained based off of historical applicant data, and most of these applicants were men. So I can't really help but ask myself this question: would I get hired under the same circumstances? How many of you were at FutureWorks last year? Okay, a few of you. So if you were there and you heard me speak then, you heard me talk about the fact that I don't have a college degree. And what happened to me during the dot-com bubble and burst, I got laid off, I couldn't find work quickly, I lost my apartment, my car, I had to move back in with my parents. And when I was able to find a job about 6 months later, I went from making $90,000 a year to $11.75 an hour because of that barrier. And companies that I've since worked for were notorious for only hiring people from like the top 10 colleges and universities. They were only hiring people with college degrees for everything, no matter what skills were actually needed for the job. And one of those companies, I honestly still don't know how I got in there, but regardless of if I know how, I am pretty sure there was some human intervention or a standard or a deviation from their standard hiring practices. So even with AI, hiring is fundamentally human. Speaking of AI and humanity, I believe the technology we create is a reflection of the creators. So let this sink in a little bit. All of these images were created using the prompt coder programming on a computer. And while some coders absolutely look like this isn't really representative of the world around us. All AI tools have been built with inherent human-created bias. In fact, there's no such thing as a bias-free system or product or industry. If we let these systems run unchecked, here's what could happen. More barriers to entry for disadvantaged groups, less inclusion and diversity in the workforce, which means more narrow-minded perspectives and weaker business performance for companies that don't prioritize diversity. Here's what could happen when we lose the humanity at work, a possibility for the future if AI is left unchecked.
Presumed productivity, 84%. Approved.
Good.
Presumed productivity, 92%. Approved.
Good.
Presumed productivity, 87%. Approved. Presumed productivity, 55% joint swelling detected. Work disallowed.
I can peak faster than anybody.
You used to.
Can I try again? Please?
Go ahead.
Presumed productivity, 55% joint swelling detected. Work disallowed.
Pinche máquina.
Curse words in any language are prohibited.
However far off that scenario may feel, I believe the core argument remains true today. In fact, the creator of that short film, Miguel Angel Caballero, actually set out to create a futuristic view of work, but realized that that story is actually much closer to reality than science fiction. So how do we break the cycle and build tech that promotes equity in the workplace? With the right direction and guidance, I really do believe we can get closer to this. We want to make sure AI doesn't become another barrier for job seekers to overcome. And when used ethically and responsibly, AI can be a powerful tool for job seekers, especially to help break down bias and barriers. I want to stress that humanity is at the core of it all and will always be the driving factor when creating a better world of work. So let's dig in. How do we build toward a better world of work? One that uses automation to our advantage. A diverse team of humans still needs to be involved in the process of creating a just and equitable workforce. We've been thinking about ethics and implications of AI within our own company since 2020. We have an AI ethics team here to explore and weigh these real issues. And actually, we're even rebranding our team to Responsible AI as we evolve our scope as a company and emphasize our shared responsibility for AI that is screened for bias and fairness. This is how we screen our products for potential bias that could be a detriment to both our job seekers and to you, our employers. Shout out to Taryn Heilman, data scientist, and Trey Kazi, head of responsible AI at Indeed, somewhere in the audience today. Beyond our teams, we have also been envisioning ways to use AI to support job seekers and employers matching on Indeed, and we're inspired by the potential. 62% of all Americans don't have a college degree. This includes 72% of Black Americans, 75% of rural Americans, 79% of Latina Americans, and 80% of Americans with disabilities. Currently, 70 million workers in the US are screened out of the job search when an employer requires a four-year degree. These 70 million workers are skilled through alternative routes, meaning they're able to perform jobs that would typically require a college education. This is why Indeed is a champion of screening in for skills. In the future, AI can be used to screen in candidates with relevant work experience, boot camps, or certifications who may lack a college degree. This will be better for you and your teams because hiring for skills is 5 times more predictive of job performance than hiring for education, and more than 2 times more predictive than hiring for work experience alone. In this year alone, there are millions of job seekers using search terms like no college degree when looking for a job on Indeed. As we speak, we're making moves to incorporate responsible AI into our products, including those that job seekers facing bias and barriers to employment. AI tools in productions like these will help screening candidates based on skills in their resume that you may not have even initially considered. You'll hear more about this later today. In the future, AI could also help determine the top competencies necessary for a job during interviews. Indeed, tools like rubrics can help your teams understand what these top competencies are and assess job seekers more objectively based solely on this criteria. We're also exploring tools like chat-based conversational searches and AI-driven career coaches and career pilots that will follow job seekers on their journey. As we build toward a better world of work, Indeed will be exploring more ways that employers like you can use skills-based hiring to tap into a larger talent pool. These explorations may include participation in research studies or hosting hiring events with Skill Connect job seekers. Now, Skill Connect makes it easier for job seekers to represent the skills and training that they've received through alternative pathways, like hands-on technical and professional job training programs, and match with the employers who need them. They are ready for entry-level roles in fields like tech and finance, CS, and project management. As Chris mentioned earlier, to make the experience of hiring job seekers, more efficient for your teams, you can create AI-generated job descriptions in our hosted jobs flow. Using Indeed's AI job description generator, saving you time for the more human aspects of training. Now, with automation, some jobs may go away, but many more will be created, and all jobs will transform in some way. Now, we may not know today what the jobs of tomorrow will look like, but we're committed to exploring how to close the skills gap. We can equip workers today with the valuable skills we know will help them get jobs in the future. I am not here to tell you that AI can do it all. And quite frankly, it shouldn't. I strongly believe that keeping the human in human resources is the path forward toward a more equitable world of work. Plus, most US workers don't want robots having the final say. 71% of Americans oppose the use of AI in making final hiring decisions, and more than half of respondents in a recent Indeed survey said they were most concerned about AI replacing the human judgment and intuition elements of these decisions. This is why critical reviews from human recruiters that know AI's limits will remain an important part of ensuring the hiring journey remains equitable. At Indeed, we help all people get jobs. Reducing bias and barriers in hiring is essential to this mission, and it's deeply connected to you being able to hire more efficiently. When you use Indeed's matching and hiring platform, you're using tools that were built with equity in mind. We don't need more roadblocks to better work. We believe the path towards building a better world of work starts with responsible AI. We're on our own journey with equitable hiring, and we're continuously evaluating and redesigning our hiring processes with the lens of inclusion. We're adopting best practices as we learn and committed to driving change across fair chance hiring, accessibility, skills-based hiring, and economic security. We're committed to removing barriers to employment with technology, and we're on a journey to help 30 million job seekers facing barriers find jobs by the year 2030. This is what could happen if our AI tools are left unchecked. But through our commitments, we're working to break down barriers, increase inclusion and diversity, and ultimately help you build stronger companies. Technology is moving fast, and this can feel overwhelming. So what does this mean for you? We know that bias in automation is a problem, and we are on a path toward building equitable products that will help you and your teams get closer to the hire. And now that you have a basic set of tools and guidelines for using AI responsibly as you grow your teams, I think you're already on the right track. I'm here to assure you that all of us have the power to build toward a better world of work. None of us know with any certainty what the future holds, but if we start incrementally building today towards a better tomorrow, we're moving in the right direction. When we work together, we have a greater chance of ensuring that job seekers facing bias and barriers aren't left behind. Thank you.